Granted, even with just a few tools, you can create a simple playing practice session with your U8 player at home, with your son at home. That'll be a lot of fun that you can do, for the next 20 years, and it'll still be relevant. So the format is warm up, ball mastery, dribbling sequences, juggling game, and then 1v1 to cones. If you start to, especially if you spend even a minute a day training, because you can better understand what I'm trying to articulate. If you spend a minute a day and he sees this, this is going to allow you to teach him without words. Right, because your kids are geniuses. They can copy they copy everything from what you say to what you do. Right, they're rapid learners. So you are effectively his training partner, whether you realize it or not. So even if you spend a minute a day improving, juggling, dribbling, and ball striking, it's going to not only encourage him to get better, but it's going to teach him how to train smarter. Okay, so warm up. If you have a length of rope at home, you can make what's called an RMT rope. You want to get a piece of rope that's as long as your son is tall. So let's say your son is 4 feet tall. You want to cut a piece of rope or some, you could tie 2 shoelaces together and create a length of rope that's suited for his size. But if he sees you using it, then he's going to start to use it, right? So you almost have to, it's like a reverse psychology trick to help him learn this effortless warm-up. So all in RMT rope, all you do with an RMT rope, it's similar to a jump rope, but as you just swing it around. And why it's so powerful is because it's so simple. As you swing it in circles, it'll help your son develop strength through effortless movement, right? Your body's connected from fingers to toes. So as you swing it, you're just going to develop balance, timing, rhythm, coordination, core strength. It's going to help your body get into different ranges of motion, which is going to help you develop dynamic balance, right? Balance in different ranges of motion. Simple. So that's step one, warm up. You really want to focus on the warm up because you got to instill good habits. Warm up, cool down, right? Super important. I've been around too many players who've torn ACLs, who've done ankles, who've done knees because they just didn't spend a minute a day or a few minutes warming up before their training. So make sure you focus on the warm up, even if you're doing some neck circles, right? Neck circles, arm circles, forward and back, shoulder circles, forward and back, hip circles, knee circles, ankle circles, right? Just like that. Ankle circles, pop the knee up, right? High knees, butt kicks, right? Nice and easy. So that's even if you could do just that one, that's right. You gotta teach him good fundamentals. So warm up, super important. Okay, next thing, ball mastery. So this is important. The better, if you can learn simple ball mastery moves, this is gonna allow you to demonstrate them to him, right? Because you could tell him what ball mastery moves to do, but if you can't demonstrate it, then teaching becomes much more difficult. But if you go on Cover Coaching, right, search Cover Coaching app, or you could search Cover Coaching app's the best way to do it. If you have some time to spend with him, and we're going to get into ways that you could help him train without you being present. But let's start with the personal training that you and him are going to do together. Cover Coaching, COERVER. He's got a freemium style app where he gives you a couple introductory moves, and then maybe you pay $2.99 and then you learn the rest of them, or just search Cover Coaching on YouTube, and then maybe you can learn some more. But so the structure of what I'm trying to show you, right, the pattern of how I learned in the training session is ball mastery, dribbling sequences, barrel game, then 1v1 to cones. So, right, the first time you do a training session, you should teach them one move, right? You should teach them the chop, right? So chop right, chop left, chop right, chop left, and chop, right? And chop, and chop, and chop, and chop, right? So just as an example. And then the next time that you guys train, you remove the first move you learned, and then you learn a second move. So then, in couple practices from now, like the idea is a progression. So one session you learn one move, and then the next session you review the one from before, and then you learn one more. It's like a language. It's like you kind of build on what you learned in the past. So each practice session, you should be spending a little bit of time reviewing moves from the past, and then adding one more if the time is right. Okay, so that's ball mastery. The second is dribbling sequences. There's one dribbling sequence. If it's the only one you learned and the only one you can teach him, he's going to improve very, very fast. It looks like this. You go. It's called the Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. As you repeat this over and over and over, saying it out loud, why this is so powerful is because it's a rhythmic sequence. It's going to help your son develop dribbling abilities. It's going to improve his dribbling abilities in an effortless way, because it's going to allow him to not think about dribbling since it's a rhythmic pattern. So you really want to go slow in the beginning and say it out loud when you do it. Saying out loud when you do it because it's going to help him internalize it, develop a mind-body connection, and you want to go slow when you learn it because slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So one more time. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. If you can learn this and then teach him this 1 minute a day, right? 1 minute a day builds the habit of ball mastery, 1 minute of dribbling sequences, and then you go right into the barrel game. So using a bucket, a barrel, a hamper, a basket, any type of vessel, the game is you and him are gonna have balls in your hands, balls of any size. Ideally, you want a ball that's easy for him to use in the beginning. I'm talking bouncy ball, volleyball, something that is easy to bounce and something that's friendly for him to use, right? You don't want to give him a tennis ball, or you don't want to give him a medicine ball, right? That doesn't make sense. You got to make this drill challenging, but you want to make it fun, right? They say make skills easy, make strength hard. So you have your barrel, and both of you are gonna line up facing each other, and the game is who can juggle the ball into the barrel the fastest. So in the beginning, you want to start very close, right? You got to teach him what success looks like. You got to create this positive feedback loop, this fun feedback loop with the game. So if this is the barrel, you guys both have the balls in the hands, and then you could start with the right thigh. All you do is thigh, right? Thigh in. And then, you could take a step back, and then you go left thigh. You go thigh in. And then you take 2 steps back, and then you can go thigh in, right? So then you could go with the feet, right? Challenging with the feet, using a bounce, right foot. So bounce, kick in, or with the left foot, bounce, kick in. You can do alternating feet, bounce, kick in, right? So as both of you improve, you can start to increase the distance away from the barrel and then start to remove the bounce. So it'll look like bounce, kick, or thigh, in, or laces, in, or left, right, in. So it's a progression, right? Make it easy and fun at the beginning, and then as he develops his skills, as you develop your skills, you start to make it more and more challenging. And that's the barrel game, right? So now we're at warm up, ball mastery, Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence, then barrel game. And then last thing you want to invest in is 2 cones, or you could even use two balls, right? So he's got a ball, he's got a cone, he's protecting his cone, you have a ball or a cone, and you're protecting your cone, right? I'm talking a taller cone, one you could knock over. And then ideally, with a size 1 ball, using a smaller ball for this exercise is going to help him develop his foot skills more rapidly. Because in theory, a smaller ball is harder to manipulate than a size 5 ball. So if you can do this drill with a smaller size 1 ball, it's going to help him when he goes to play in a game and he's got to use a size 4 or a size 5. But basically the game is, all it is you and him are playing against each other's cones, and then all you have to do is bump, right? Knock the cone over, or knock his ball, make his ball move. Because what this game is going to teach is shielding. It's going to teach with 1v1 live gameplay. It's going to teach just strength through motion, because you're going to have to kind of wrestle, you're going to have to shield the ball and also attack and defend. So it's going to teach transitioning from offense to defense and back. Or you could play this game with 1 cone and 1 ball, almost like pick up like basketball. If 2 players are playing 1v1 to one basketball hoop, same concept, right? Once you win the ball from him, then you can attack on the cone. Once he wins the ball from you, you just switch the point of attack depending on your resources, if that makes sense. So those are 2 different options. If you have access to 2 cones, then you guys both have a cone. If you only have 1 cone, then you just switch off between who's attacking and who's defending said cone. Right? So 4 steps. It's 4 steps to have a lot of fun developing as a player. It's the fundamentals you need for him to play, to start to grow his game. Ball mastery. Ball mastery at speed, right? Ball mastery through forward ambulation, which just means moving forward. Then juggling with forward ambulation, which is juggling while moving forward. And then 1v1 to cones. I was the worst player on my team, and then my dad asked the coach, how come Andrew don't play? And the coach said, well, the best player should play the most, and Andrew's not the best. So he brought me to this guy named Tom Turnbull, who's a skills and drills coach. And this is what we did every single session. I did this every single session for years. And that next season, right, I came back, I scored more goals than the whole team combined. So this is what you want to do every single session that you're playing with your son, ideally. But you got to start with maybe a minute a day, right? A minute of warm-up, minute ball mastery, minute dribbling sequences, minute barrel game, and then a minute 1v1 to cones. So you build the habit. After you build the habit, then you can increase the intensity. Other things that will help. One of them is this kick trainer. This is going to allow you or your son to cram months of training into days or weeks. And if you show him how to use it, then he's going to value, right? He's going to appreciate the value of this thing if you're using it. If you just give him this ball, he won't know how to use it or how to value it, so he won't use it at all. And then it might make you mad because you bought it and you want him to get better, but he doesn't appreciate it because he doesn't know how, so it's actually going to make things worse. But if you buy this for yourself and use it yourself and set it to his height, to his length, then he'll use it and it'll help him develop. Another tool that you might consider investing in is called a dribble up ball. It's a ball that teaches ball skills through the TV. It's got a little chip in the ball. So it's like having a skills coach at your own home. So if he's someone who, right, if you encourage technology, if you want to teach him, if you like using technology to teach kids fun games, and maybe you have, I think there's a small subscription fee every month. I want to say it's $30 or something, but that's, I think that's a smart investment compared to driving somewhere and investing in a coach who, maybe takes an hour, half an hour to drive there, and then the time spent there, then driving home, and then, right? So you got to see if that's worth it for you. But I think this is a fun game. This is a fun tool because it just gamifies ball skills mastery. Anytime that you make skills training fun, right? Anytime you gamify skills skills mastery, it makes training more fun, which makes playing more fun. So hopefully this helps. Reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.